It started in a place where wars are usually discussed, not declared. The Outer Relay Network. A vast communication web connecting hundreds of civilizations across the galaxy. Not a government. Not an empire. Just a silent agreement. If something dangerous appears, everyone is warned. No politics. No bias. Only survival. At exactly midnight Galactic Standard Time, every node in that network lit up at the same moment. That alone was strange. Because synchronized activations don't happen naturally across systems separated by thousands of light-years. Then the message arrived. No sender ID. No origin trace. No signal trail. Just a direct injection into every connected system, bypassing encryption layers that were considered unbreakable. It didn't hack the network. It ignored it, like it was already inside. The first line appeared on every screen across the galaxy. Humanity has been judged. At first, many civilizations thought it was a prank, a rogue intelligence, a failed experiment in psychological warfare, something meant to cause panic. But then the second line appeared. Prepare for eradication. That's when everything changed. Because in the galaxy, words like eradication are never used casually. They are declarations of extinction-level intent. Within seconds, emergency protocols activated across multiple star systems. Red alerts. Military mobilization. Strategic councils. Entire planets stopped routine operations. Who sent this? One admiral demanded inside the Varelian defense spire. We can't identify the source, an analyst replied quickly. That's impossible. Everything leaves a trace. This didn't. Silence followed that statement. Because it wasn't just unusual. It was terrifying. Elsewhere, in the Draven Union core station, the reaction was even worse. This must be a coordinated psychological attack, a commander said. Against who? Another replied. A pause. Humanity. That word alone made several officers shift uncomfortably. Humans. A species that had only recently expanded beyond its solar system. A species still considered mid-tier in galactic rankings. A species known more for resilience than dominance. Not a target you declare eradication against lightly. Unless you are certain. Completely certain. At the same time, on Earth, the message appeared. Not through one system. Through all of them. Every screen. Every network. Every device connected to any communication channel. Phones lit up in the hands of people sleeping. Television broadcasts interrupted mid-sentence. Military terminals switched displays without authorization. The message repeated. Humanity has been judged. Prepare for eradication. At first, confusion. Then panic. Is this real? Is this a simulation? Is someone testing global systems? But deep inside command centers across the world, no one was asking those questions. They were asking something far worse. Can we trace it? The answer came fast. No. Try harder. We already did. Another pause. It's not coming from a single source. What does that mean? It means, it's everywhere. Then came the first external detection. Deep space observatories, scattered across different planetary bodies, picked up something unusual. Multiple energy signatures. Far beyond known hyperspace lanes. Massive movement detected, one technician reported. How massive? A long pause. Fleet scale. Another pause. Hundreds of them. The room went silent. Then the final confirmation came. They're heading towards Sol. That single word changed everything. Sol. Earth's system. Human space. Within minutes, military alliances activated emergency war protocols. Across different civilizations that had previously ignored human affairs, alarm signals began to spread. Because this wasn't just an unknown message anymore. It was backed by movement. Real movement. In the Velkian Assembly Hall, an elder spoke quietly. Who would declare war on humanity so openly? No one answered immediately. Then someone did. Someone who believes they will win. That sentence hung in the air longer than anyone wanted. Because in galactic history, that belief has only ever come from two types of civilizations: the ignorant, or the unstoppable. On Earth, military satellites finally confirmed visual data, and what they saw erased any remaining doubt. Space was changing. Not naturally, not randomly. It was tearing, like fabric being pulled apart. Massive rifts opened in orbit, glowing fractures in reality itself. And through those fractures, something began to emerge. They're not entering space, one scientist whispered. They're breaking into it. And one by one, the ships appeared. Not small vessels, not scout craft, armadas. Entire fleets emerging from the rifts like predators stepping out of hidden doors. Massive structures of unknown design. Shifting geometry. Light bending around them incorrectly. It wasn't just technology. It was something beyond comprehension. They're not from nearby space, a researcher said slowly. Then where? A pause. Somewhere that doesn't follow our rules. At that moment, the galaxy finally understood one thing. This wasn't a local conflict. This wasn't a border dispute. This was something else entirely. A war declaration. From something that believed humanity should not exist. And as the first wave of the Armada fully emerged into real space, every civilization watching knew the same thought. If this message is real, then humanity is about to face something it has never seen before. And somewhere in the middle of it all, Earth remained silent, waiting for what came next. The first ships fully emerged from the rifts like something being born from a broken sky. Not arriving, not traveling, manifesting. Space itself seemed unstable around them, as if reality was struggling to contain what was entering it. Massive structures unfolded in orbit, each one larger than anything human engineers had ever built or even imagined. And they kept coming, one after another. Hundreds, then thousands. The alien armada spread across Earth's orbital space like a dark web tightening around a trapped world. On every sensor screen across Earth, the same reading repeated. Unknown class fleet detected. Threat level, uncalculable. That last line caused more panic than anything else. Because militaries are built on numbers, on probability, on measurable threat levels. Uncalculable meant something simple. They had no idea what they were looking at. Inside Earth's Global Defense Command, alarms never stopped ringing. Red lights flashed across every wall. Operators shouted over each other, trying to process incoming data streams. Count them again. It's increasing. That's impossible. A young analyst stared at his screen, voice shaking. There are more signatures now than there were 10 seconds ago. You're saying they're multiplying. I'm saying the data keeps rewriting itself. Silence. Then the commander spoke quietly. Are we dealing with physical ships, or something else? No one answered, because no one wanted to say the wrong thing first. Above Earth, the alien fleet stabilized. Finally, and for the first time since the invasion began. They moved in formation. Perfect. Precise. Mathematically synchronized. Not chaotic like human fleets. Not reactive. Predetermined. Like they had already calculated every possible outcome. Then the attack began. It didn't start with explosions. It started with absence. Entire sections of near-Earth space stopped behaving normally. Star positions shifted slightly on sensors. Distances changed without movement. Gravitational readings fluctuated. Space is inconsistent, one scientist said. What does that mean? Someone asked. It means the rules aren't stable anymore. Then the fleet acted. A single pulse emitted from the lead vessel. No visible beam. No explosion. Just a ripple across space-time. And instantly, human orbital defense satellites went dark. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Disconnected from reality itself. They're not attacking systems, a technician shouted. They're rewriting the environment. Fighter response fleets attempted launch. Missiles armed. Defense grids activated. But the moment they entered operational space, something went wrong. Targets disappeared. Coordinates shifted. Weapons locked onto empty space. Targeting systems are failing. We can't lock anything. It's like the ships aren't where they are. Then came the real strike. A second wave from the alien fleet. This time, visible energy structures formed in orbit. Massive geometric patterns rotating slowly above Earth. And with each rotation, human systems destabilized further. Power grids flickered globally. Communication networks collapsed. Military coordination broke down. It wasn't just an attack. It was domination of structure itself. Inside the alien fleet, command was calm. No urgency. No panic. Because from their perspective, this was already over. They are unprepared, one commander stated. Another responded. They were never meant to be. On Earth, panic escalated into full-scale emergency response. But something strange became clear. Every attempt to fight back was failing before it even began. Missiles misfired. Aircraft lost navigation. Satellite relays disconnected mid-command. It was as if Earth's entire defense network was being gently unraveled. Not destroyed. Dismantled. They're not overpowering us, a general said quietly inside a bunker. They're controlling what we can even attempt. Then came the ground phase. Smaller vessels detached from the main fleet. Fast. Silent. Precision-crafted. They descended through the atmosphere in perfect alignment. Not scattered. Not random. Coordinated. They landed across major strategic zones. Energy hubs. Communication arrays. Military command centers. And then, they opened. Unlike typical invasion scenarios, there was no chaos. No bombardment. No immediate destruction. Just presence. Structured occupation. Controlled deployment. Alien units emerged. Armored. Efficient. Emotionless. And they did something unexpected. They ignored civilians. Completely. No pursuit. No panic response. No mass extermination. Instead, they walked directly toward infrastructure, as if humans themselves were irrelevant. Inside one captured city, resistance forces attempted engagement. Small arms fire erupted. Explosions followed. But nothing worked. Energy rounds dissipated mid-air. Ballistic weapons lost velocity. And then, a single alien unit raised its hand. A pulse emitted. Every weapon system in the area shut down instantly. No explosion. No counterfire. Just silence. Soldiers stood frozen, unable to comprehend what just happened. One dropped his weapon. "It's not even fighting us," he whispered. And that realization spread faster than any attack. Because it wasn't a war. It was a takeover. Systematic. Efficient. Complete. Above Earth, the alien fleet remained in perfect formation. Watching. Waiting. Confirming control. And deep inside their command structure, confidence was absolute. Because from everything they could see, humanity had already lost. Completely. After the initial wave of control, Earth fell into an unnatural stillness. Not peace. Not victory. Silence. The alien fleet hovered above the planet like a crown of darkness, unmoving and confident. On the surface, their forces had taken key locations with surgical precision. Energy hubs were secured. Military command centers were neutralized. Communication infrastructure was under alien monitoring. And yet, nothing was being destroyed anymore. No explosions. No further attacks. No escalation. Just control. That alone made human commanders uneasy. Because wars don't end like this. Not when one side is still fully capable. Inside the global defense underground network, buried deep beneath reinforced layers of Earth's crust, human leadership monitored every available feed. The room was dim, illuminated only by holographic displays floating in midair. Every display showed the same thing. Alien control confirmed. Systems compromised. Surface operations lost. But no one looked defeated. They looked patient. A commander stood at the center of the room, watching the data flow without emotion. Then he spoke quietly. Phase 1 complete. No celebration followed. No relief. Only acknowledgement. One of the analysts turned toward him. Sir, we've lost surface control. Entire planetary infrastructure is under their monitoring. The commander nodded slowly. Yes. Another officer stepped forward. Then we counterattack immediately. We still have mobile strike units. No. The single word cut through the room. Silence followed. The commander turned slightly. They think they've won because they see nothing resisting them. A pause. That's exactly what we wanted. On the surface, alien units continued their occupation. They scanned buildings, intercepted data streams, established relay control points. Everything was orderly, predictable, efficient. No resistance. No hidden attacks. No sabotage. It felt too easy. But they interpreted it differently. They are incapable of coordinated defense, one alien officer reported. Resistance probability is negligible, another confirmed. Their command structure accepted the conclusion. Humanity had fallen quickly. Too quickly. But deep underground, something very different was happening. Systems long dormant were activating in sequence. Not connected to Earth's surface networks. Not dependent on satellites or external communication. Completely isolated. Hidden for years. Waiting. One by one, encrypted cores came online. Massive data clusters awakened. Artificial intelligence frameworks initialized. A system designed not for war, but for absence of war until the perfect moment. Unit Sigma 9 is active, an analyst reported. Blackgrid systems are online. Shadow Relay Network confirmed. The room filled with quiet acknowledgement. The commander finally spoke again. They've taken the surface. He stepped forward slightly. Good. Confused glances appeared around the room. A junior officer spoke carefully. Sir, why is that good? The commander turned toward him. Not angry. Not tense. Just focused. Because now they are fully exposed. Above Earth, alien systems continued to integrate human infrastructure into their network. They were mapping everything. Every relay. Every data node. Every communication channel. They believed they were absorbing Earth's technological structure. Taking control of it. But they didn't realize something crucial. Human systems weren't just connected. They were led. Deeply led. What they accessed on the surface was only the first layer. A decoy interface. A controlled environment designed to appear like total system architecture. It was not the core. Not even close. Inside the alien command vessel, analysts began noticing small inconsistencies. Data redundancy is increasing, one said. Explain. It's like, the system has duplicates we didn't account for. Another officer frowned. That's impossible. We scanned everything. A pause. Did we? The question hung in the air, because suddenly, confidence began to shift. Slightly, barely noticeable, but present. Something was wrong. Not externally. Internally. On Earth, deep underground, human systems began preparing the second phase. A massive structure buried beneath tectonic layers slowly activated. Not a weapon. Not a fleet. A switch. A planetary-scale override protocol. Neural sync ready, an engineer reported. Global interface link stable. Alien systems fully mapped. The commander nodded. Begin integration. On the alien side, alarms finally started appearing. Not external attacks. Not physical threats. Internal warnings. System instability. Data inconsistency. Unknown access points. What is happening inside our network? An alien commander demanded. We are detecting unauthorized structural changes, a technician replied. Source. A pause. Human systems. Silence. That word felt impossible. Because humans were supposed to be gone. Overwhelmed. Controlled. Not inside their systems. But the data didn't lie. Something was already inside. Deep inside. And spreading. On Earth, the underground commander finally gave the final order. Engage full counter-network. Every dormant system activated simultaneously. Not attacking ships. Not firing weapons. Instead, they took control of connections. The invisible pathways linking alien fleets to Earth's infrastructure began to shift. Redirect. Invert. Collapse. In orbit, alien ships suddenly flickered. What is this? Power fluctuation increasing. Control systems lagging. It's coming from the human interface layer. And then, for the first time since the invasion began, the alien fleet stopped being in control. Not because it was destroyed, but because something else had quietly taken the wheel. The silence that had once meant victory now meant something else entirely. Uncertainty. The first sign that something had changed was not an explosion. Not a battle. Not even a warning signal. It was hesitation. Across the alien fleet in orbit, systems that had been perfectly synchronized for hours suddenly began to lag. Not fail. Not shut down. Delay. A fraction of a second at first. Barely noticeable. Then two. Then whole cycles of command execution slowing down across multiple ships at once. Inside the flagship command vessel, the atmosphere shifted instantly. What had been confidence moments ago was now uncertainty. Report status, the fleet commander ordered sharply. No immediate response came. That alone was unusual. Then, command latency increasing across all nodes, a technician said quickly. Define increasing. Expanding. Rapidly. A pause. Source. The technician stared at the data stream. For the first time since the invasion began, his voice carried something new. Uncertainty. It's originating from inside our control layer. Silence filled the bridge. That sentence didn't make sense. It wasn't supposed to. Because their control layer was absolute. Closed. Isolated. Secure beyond any known breach system in the galaxy. And yet, something was changing it from within. On Earth, deep beneath the surface, the human command structure remained calm. No panic. No urgency. Only execution. All nodes confirmed, an engineer reported. Alien fleet synchronization is degrading. The commander nodded. Proceed. No celebration. No emotion. Just continuation. Because this was not a surprise. This was the final stage of a system designed long before the invasion even arrived. Above Earth, alien ships began to drift slightly out of formation. At first, no one noticed. Then multiple ships failed to maintain alignment. Then entire subsections of the fleet began desynchronizing. What is happening to formation integrity? The alien fleet leader demanded. Loss of synchronization across all command layers. Fix it. We can't stabilize it. The correction protocols are being overwritten. That statement triggered immediate concern. Overwritten by what? A pause. Longer this time. Human control signatures. For the first time in the entire operation, no one responded immediately. Because that answer wasn't possible. Not according to any calculation. Not according to any model. Not according to any expectation. Humans were supposed to be contained. Not active. Not capable. Not inside the system. Then the second phase of failure began. One ship went dark. Then another. Then 10. Not explosions. Not destruction. Shutdown. Clean. Precise. Absolute. They are not attacking us, an officer said, voice tense. Then what is this? The commander snapped. A pause. They are removing us from the system. On Earth, underground facilities lit up with synchronized data streams. Massive neural control arrays linked together across continents. Hidden infrastructure that had never been exposed to surface systems fully activated. It wasn't hacking in the traditional sense. It was replacement. The alien fleet's control architecture was being mapped, copied, and rewritten in real time. And the aliens had unknowingly provided the access. By connecting to Earth. By integrating systems. By assuming dominance. They had opened the door themselves. Inside the flagship, alarms finally escalated to full emergency status. Red lights flooded the command deck. Systems began failing in clusters. Engine control offline. Weapon systems unresponsive. External communication channels lost. The commander stepped forward, staring at the central console. It no longer responded to him. For the first time since the invasion began, he was not in control. He was watching control disappear. "What did we connect to?" he whispered. No one answered immediately, because the implication was too large, too dangerous. Then, finally, a technician spoke quietly. Earth was never just a target. Silence. It was a system. And at that moment, everything collapsed further. Across the fleet, ships began locking into standby states. Not destroyed. Not disabled. Reassigned. Weapons systems reclassified as inactive. Navigation systems rerouted. Command protocols rewritten. Entire fleets were being redefined in real time. Not by alien command, but by something else. Cut all external links, the commander ordered urgently. "We can't." "Why not?" "Because the links are no longer external." That sentence changed everything. Because it meant the invasion was no longer happening from outside Earth. It was happening from everywhere at once. On Earth, the underground commander finally stood. "This is it." No one spoke. He looked at the screen showing the alien fleet. Frozen. Failing. Rewriting itself. "They thought they invaded us," he said quietly. A pause. "But they connected themselves to us." Above Earth, the alien flagship flickered one final time. Systems struggled to stabilize. Command attempts failed repeatedly. Emergency overrides returned errors. Then, silence. Not just system silence. Total operational silence. Every alien ship in orbit stopped responding. Every weapon system deactivated. Every control link severed. And yet, nothing exploded. Nothing was destroyed. They simply stopped existing as an active force. Still present. Still visible. But no longer operational. Inside the flagship, the commander looked at the darkened console. For the first time, he understood the truth. They had not been defeated by force. Not by weapons. Not by strategy. But by structure. A system they never realized they had entered. A system that had already been waiting. On Earth, the final command was issued. Lock phase complete. And just like that, the entire alien fleet was frozen in orbital silence. Not destroyed. Not gone. Just removed from control. And in the vast emptiness of space above Earth, there was no victory announcement. No celebration. Only a final realization spreading across every surviving alien system. They had declared war on humanity, and never understood what humanity really was.